Paddy Power stream all UK and Irish racing live on your mobile, tablet or PC. Unlike some other high street bookies, Paddy Power, you beauty!
Hi there, welcome along to the Racing Post Weekend Review Postcast. I'm Bruce Millington and I am delighted to say that joining us in the studio today is Sam Twiston-Davis. Sam is going to bring us all the lowdown on his Cheltenham rides. We've also got Stuart Riley, one of our crack reporters. I did say crack. And from Paddy Power, it's Paul Binfield, who's got all the latest odds as the countdown to Cheltenham ticks on. Just 15 days now until it all starts. So we'll be looking back on the final set of clues, really, that big meeting at Kempton. It threw up some very, very interesting performances, and we'll see what the guys think. We will start, though. Sam, you won the Pendle on Frodon, but it's possible he's not going to be giving you a chance to increase your Cheltenham Festival tally. How many festival winners have you had, by the way, Dan?
7. I've been very lucky, yeah.
Hopefully you'll get into double figures this year. You'd settle for that, wouldn't you?
No, definitely.
But Frodon, you think possibly might not be at the festival, no?
Yeah, just the immediate afterthoughts afterwards, speaking to Paul, he thought he might have a look at Aintree and hopefully maybe nick another little one on the way there. He's been a very solid horse for us this season. We have Politolog in the JLT as well. So if it's one of those, if we can win a few more along the way to Aintree or Frodon, then you'd be delighted.
Because he's only young, isn't he?
He's only a 5-year-old. He's done very well. He is very mature.
What is what's the limit of his potential?
Like you say,
how good could he be?
It's very interesting. If he was a 6-year-old, you would love to ride him in one of the big races at Aintree, the Topham, because he's a very solid jumper. He's a great attitude. He's a good way of going about things, and that's the kind of light we hold him in. So for next season, he's going to be very exciting as well as exciting as he has been this season.
Absolutely. What price is he for the JLT, just in case they change their mind, Paul Binfield?
We're 14 to 1. Bruce, all Cheltenham races, non-runner, no bet. So if you really want to have a go, you can have a go without risking too much.
What price is York Hill now for the JLT?
York Hill's 13 to 8 favourite, Top Notch at 4 to 1, and then.
And what price the winner?
Sorry.
What price the winner? Charbel.
Charbel is 10 to 1, and Politolog could be interesting, Bruce, 7 to 1 with Paul Nicholls saying there's no point in taking him on with Frodon, so maybe he's quite a good value at that.
Do you like Politolog for this?
Yeah, he's done really well this season. It was obviously disappointing to get beaten at Haydock, but I don't really think he lost anything in defeat. He jumped really nicely that day. He gave the winner £4. He wasn't beaten too far. I think Cheltenham, we've got the hood on and earplugs in him now, so obviously that helps him switch off better and deal with the preliminaries. So hopefully going into Cheltenham now, he's a horse that has got a good experience, and hopefully he's becoming the finished article.
And at this stage of the preparation for the big meeting, which is the one horse that you lie awake at night thinking, I cannot wait to get on board him?
It's one of those, it's very lucky to have a solid book of rides. First of all, you just hope to get there in one piece, don't do anything silly in the next couple of weeks. But really looking forward to getting back on Ballyandy again. Politolog is a key one, and actually be interesting to see where Dodging Bullet's lined up. He is falling down the handicap, so wherever he goes, he could be potentially quite interesting.
He's still got it in him, has he?
I think so. He's showing more spark. His confidence getting greater. If he was to line up in the Grand Annual, I know it's not a route many champion chasers end up doing, but he has come down the handicap, and with his confidence forever building, he could be an outside player.
Absolutely. Stu, have you got a JLT view at this stage?
I've backed Politolog.
Have you?
Yeah.
Big
he's
price?
Already in the book. 14s, I think.
Very nice.
So, yeah, I'm fairly happy with him. I took a big hint a few weeks ago. It was before the race at Sandown, where Paul made Sam make a decision very early on Clandis Oboe or Politolog, and I thought if Sam's choosing him a month off, then that's got to be a very good sign.
Jolly good. Let's have a look at the Champion Hurdle now, because obviously the news broke yesterday that Tombstone is going to be supplemented. Brain Power worked out at Kempton. What's the latest Champion Hurdle stuff, please, Paul?
I'll just come back to you on that. Oh no, here we go, Bruce. Sorry, computer problems here at Binfield Towers. 3 to 1 York Hill, 130 Yanworth, same price Bouverdere, 5 to 1 the Irish Champion Hurdle winner Petit Mouchoir, and then it's 6 is Bar.
What price Tombstone?
Tombstone you can have at 12 to 1, and a magnificent decision from Connections, I think, to throw this one in with a supplementary entry.
Obviously, the going is going to depend, is going to be really crucial in the Champion Hurdle. Are you a good judge on the going, Sam? You know, because you're not too far away there, are you? Do you generally get a decent picture of how it's going to ride there?
Yeah, you get a fair idea. Obviously, they're in the dip a little bit in the valley, so they sometimes don't get as much rain as we'd be getting at home.
What's your latest vibe on what it's going to be like?
I think that they usually like it to be kind of good to soft. If it's going to be any quicker, they usually start watering. But with the winter we've
Look at
had,
that. There's plenty of rain in the
yeah,
forecast.
you wouldn't be too sure how it's going to be.
There's a ton of rain there, isn't there?
From a jockey's point of view, if it was good to soft, it's one of those. There's absolutely no excuses at all.
Really? Okay, and Champion Hurdle now, Sam. What's your latest view on the race?
Yeah, look,
who would you be backing?
It's very, very competitive. I think you'd be looking for something a little bit of value. It's very open, and like you say, when you're going into a Champion Hurdle, you want something that does have that class factor about them.
You know what he's going to say, don't you, Stu?
I hope he does.
I was going to say the new one.
I backed him 2 days ago, so I really hope he does say the new one.
Yeah, but you want him in the stayers, don't you?
It's one of those.
Your little
now,
lobby after the
race
last
is
time.
the race is cutting up, and like you say, if we can be real positive and he gets into a good rhythm on the front end, you see it in Champion Hurdles. Horses, they don't stop, especially on the old track. It's a lot sharper. You have to jump, travel, and you really have to get into a good rhythm.
Is the Champion Hurdle definitely the target for him now?
I think that's the way Dad is leaning. He's promised us we can have a go at the World Hurdle 1 year. And bear in mind, he will be a lot older. He'll be a year older again next year. But it is one of those, with the way the race has worked out, if there's ever a year where he could get his chance again, I'm a big believer in that. If you've missed your chance, you've missed your chance. But if there's ever such thing as a second chance, this could be it.
And what would the tactics be, do you think?
I think you'd have to wing him out the gate. Obviously, Petit Mouchoir also is ridden very, very handy, but I don't think that'd be any problem.
You won't mess around, no?
No, I think
get him
out
there
the gate and just see. And that's no
if you
excuses.
Travel upsides Petit Mouchoir, then it's a long way for anything to come round the two of you. You're almost guaranteed to be turning in upsides, and then
with a good chance, and that's it. At the end of the day,
what a story that would be, wouldn't it, Stu?
I'd love it.
That would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? It really, really would. And as you say, there's not one horse you need to really be fearful of.
No, that's it. It is very open. So you see Brain Power's work at the weekend was pretty impressive. Like I say, it was just obviously a routine piece, and he has always worked well. But even so, that was impressive. And then you see York Hill maybe wasn't so flashy at Wincanton, but still got the job done. And
Yamworth.
York Hill, sorry, what am I going about? But even so, Yamworth, he got the job done. And like I say, I love that about a horse that can win ugly as well as nicely,
Yeah, absolutely. Stu, so you've backed the new one, have you, for the
I
Champion
did, yeah.
Hurdle?
I came to this conclusion a few days ago looking at this race. I just think, like Sam says, it's cut right up. There's nothing in there. Like, it's a bunch of mid-160s horses. He's got the potential to be a bit better than that. And I think at 14, 12 to 1, he's around that sort of price. I think it's really hard to see him being out of the places. He will turn up and run his race. He may find one or two too good, as he tends to do in this race. But, I mean, I really think he's a cracking each way price.
Excellent. I think with a bit of cut, I think Bouverdare's going to take a lot of beating. I really, really do. But, Paul, do you have a fresh view on the race? I mean, Tombstone's an interesting addition, isn't he? 12 to 1. When you look at it, fourth last year in that really, really red-hot Supreme, he's got to be a contender, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He's lightly raced as well, and as you say, the form of that race last year has worked out so well. I think the Irish do have a good shout in the race. Petit Mouchoir was impressive at Leopardstown in the Irish Champion, and keeps doing it the hard way. So it might not just be a race for the UK contenders.
OK, let's have a look at the Gold Cup now. Not a great deal happened over the weekend, but the market move was for Q Card. So he's just about nicked favouritism now, Paul, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has taken favouritism now, Bruce. Originally, after we heard Fizzlecrack had come out, Native River was the favourite, but Colin Tizard was making all those comments the other day about if he wasn't 11, he'd be favourite, and punters seem to have taken that on board and gone with him now.
Well, you've talked away there. You're obviously trying to find the prices. Have you got them up now, Paul?
Just trying to get them now.
All
Bruce.
right, mate. We'll come back to you for the prices. But first of all, Sam, if all of a sudden, and I don't want to word it like that because I hate wishing injuries on jockeys, and I'm not doing that at all. But if all of a sudden circumstances dictated that the rides on the Tizard horses became available, and they said, Sam, we need you to choose, which one are you going to ride? Which one would you go for?
I've loved watching Native River. I think you see real gutsy, determined horses win Gold Cups, as we saw with Synchronized and such in the past. Horses that have that attitude to win, stay very strongly. I think that's one thing he does very, very well. Like saying with Q Card, who's a rock solid horse, but you do just have that question mark about him.
It's a 3.5 miler, basically,
that's the thing,
isn't it?
And you really, the gallop, I've ridden a Gold Cup twice on 2 occasions. I've jumped the first and been flat out, and you just think it is one of those races where you just do not repent. It just keeps they just keep galloping, and if anything, the pace just gets stronger and stronger. And if you're not good enough to be there on the day, it's a very, very hard race to be competitive.
Were you riding in Conigree's Gold Cup?
I was. I rode Sam Winner, and we
that
jumped
was a
off.
brute, wasn't it? It was just last man standing, basically.
We just went flat out, and to me, it felt like we were going flat out, but to them, they were just in their comfort zone, and everything was happening smoothly. And like you say, you saw that the absolute champions they were come to the fore, and the rest of us were pulled up out the back.
That's fascinating to hear, isn't it? That there is a real different feel to the Gold Cup. That's what it should be, obviously, isn't it? So you just favour Native River, you think?
I think so.
Super grind.
I love the way he goes through a race. I was riding Le Mercury against him in the Denman Chase, and I thought tactically I definitely have the speed of Native River, and Aidan was pushing and asking him more and more questions.
I thought you were going to win at one point, did you?
That's exactly what I thought. And then you're looking at from the back of the last, I thought I'd pick him up and go away, but somehow he's managed to put 4.5 lengths between us, jumping the last up sides, which over a 3-mile chase is a fair effort.
Absolutely. Stu, where's your thoughts now in terms of Gold Cup and value?
I'm having a real wrestle with myself on this one because I completely agree with everything Sam's just said. And I think of the Gold Cup as you want a classy stayer. It's almost a race for a Grand National type. And I think if it was the Grand National, Native River would be a much shorter price than Q Card. But I'm always seduced by the sort of the form horse, the class horse, and Q Card has proved himself a level above everything else this season. His second best RPR this season is £2 better than anything else in the race. His best RPR is £7 clear of anything else in the race. He is the clear form choice. I agree Native River is better suited to the test of a Gold Cup, but if class is going to win out,
I just think it's a specialist race, though, Stu. It's a proper super staying contest.
It is, but I mean, last year's was a cracker, and he was bang there 3 out. He looked like the winner to me.
Yeah, but again, it was too far out, wasn't it? What did you think, Sam? Did you think if he'd stood up, he would have won that?
It's 3 out, It's still a lot of racing to do. But tell you what, I'd love to have seen it. It would have been one hell of a race. But hey, it's one of those. It's good to see him obviously get up, and his confidence hasn't been affected at all, and he's still showing all the class of last season.
I'll tell you what, if Stuart Riley has a winning Cheltenham, it's going to be some emotional 4 days, isn't it? The new one will win, and Q Card will win, and blimey, you may as well pack up and go after that. You're not going to top those, are you? Right, come on then, Paul. Those fat digits have found their way onto the Gold Cup page, I hope.
3-1 Q Card, 100 to 30 Native River, Jack Adam 9 to 2, Outlander 8 to 1, along with Sizing John, and then it's 12 to 1 Bar Bruce.
And who's your fancy, Paul?
Well, I do think that I was a Native River fan before what happened to Thistlecrack, but possibly at a bigger price. I think Bristol de May might be a bit of a forgotten horse at 20 to 1 each way, and I always like to forgive a horse one bad run, which when he did disappoint in the Denman.
Okay, Paul. Well, let's hear what Sam's got to say about Bristol de May.
Yeah, he actually came out of the race a little bit sore, so he had an easy week, and he's well back on track now. I don't think that was his true running. He didn't really show kind of the same attributes he showed at Haydock, so hopefully all going forward now get a smooth run there, and he'll go there fresh and well, and
he's definitely going to be aimed at it.
That's the thing, he's definitely going to go there, and like you say, at a big price, he definitely have a chance of finishing in the money.
Yeah, on his best bits of form, he's all right, isn't he?
Like you say, it's not easy to carry top weight in a Tommy Whittle, so to do it as impressively as he did is a fair effort.
Absolutely.
Can I give a mention to one at a bit of a price?
Of course you can, Stu.
Outlander, I think, as the single deepest piece of form this year. When he won the Lexus, the first 9 home were all Grade 1 winners, so it's a serious piece of form that. Beat Don Poli, Jack Adam, Valsalido, all who'd have solid claims in this, and he did it fair and square. I think 8 to 1 underestimates him. I think he's a danger. I'd have him shorter than Jack Adam.
Interesting stuff. Okay, we're going to look back now on an incredible win at Fontwell yesterday.
Head into one of Paddy Power's retail shops where you can watch all live UK and Ireland racing every day. Or head over to Ladbrokes, Coral and Betfred where you can watch Homes Under the Hammer.
So, Sam, you're sitting aboard Adrian Dupont. It's the national. It's the national spirit, isn't it? 2.5 miles, and all of a sudden, Camping Ground and who was the other one who set off at a ridiculous pace?
It was me.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, not ridiculous. A very, very quick pace. What were you thinking during that race? Because it was one that I was looking at it. Were you watching it as well, Stu? It's a weird race, wasn't it? I was like, what the hell's going on here? Have they gone off too quickly? It was a mad performance by the winner, wasn't it?
Yeah, we jumped out the gate. I was keen, as was Josh Moore. It was one of those, I kept trying to take back behind him, and he kept trying to take back behind me.
Did you have a chat on the way around
there?
well,
we went at that point. I think I was holding my breath because I was trying so hard to stop Adrian Dupont from going so fast. It was one of those, anyway, I eventually managed to tuck in behind Josh, and he just kept going further and further clear, and I was thinking, well, I can't keep going this pace. La Roche and that came back me down the back, but came past me down the back, but Camping Ground had gone. It was a very, very impressive performance. What we do have to remember, it was riding pretty soft ground around there yesterday, and Fontwell is a unique test in itself, but it was very impressive to see him putting a good yardage between what was a very, very decent field.
It was. And what does that do? I mean, that brings him into the Coral Cup picture, Paul, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. We've got him in the Stayers Hurdle at 20-1, Bruce, but for the Coral Cup, he's also a 20-1 shout, and that could be the target, I would imagine, with Gary Moore saying in the paper today that 2 miles 5 could be his best trip.
What did you make of the race, Stu?
I thought it was sensational. It was a seriously impressive performance. What I liked most about it was jumping 3 out, the last in the back straight, he was about 15 lengths clear. And you thought, right, okay, he's going to tie up. It's a question of will they get to him or won't they? And he all but doubled that margin to the line. He's down. It was a serious performance. He's shown in the past that he could be a bit special. His Railkill win was also very good. From what Gary said, there's been sort of reports of him being a completely different horse to ride every time he turned up on the track. So if they've sorted that out and they've tapped into his potential, I think he's a seriously good horse. I'm not going to back him for the Stayers. I don't think he'll turn up. They seem keen to keep him to 2.5, and I mean, Gary was minded to look after him, go chasing next year, and if they can sort his jumping out, he'd be a serious danger in races like the Peterborough, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that was an astonishing bit of form. Let's look a little bit further into the Kempton card on Saturday, because like I said, there was a lot of Cheltenham clues. Charlie Parkes was obviously a disappointment, falling in the Adonis. Was he going to win, Stu?
I think he'd have pushed the winner very close. I think he was picking up, he was getting into the race, but whatever was going to happen, he wasn't going to put in anything like the performance he put up the time he absolutely slapped Master Blue Eyes about, beaten by 8 lengths just after Christmas. He wasn't going to do anything like that, and so I think there was something there that had him slightly under the weather even before he came down.
What did you make of the race, Sam?
I thought Charlie Parkes was interesting. It was what we've got to remember. He's only had a handful of runs. He was actually just starting to get running when he came down. I think it would have been a very interesting race between the two. But I think he's still a horse full of potential. But it was going to be a lot harder work than the odds kind of suggested it might have been beforehand.
Absolutely. And now the winner, Master Blue Eyes. What price is he now for the Triumph, Paul?
He's 9-1, Bruce. Charlie Parkes is still a little bit shorter at 8-1, with Nicky Henderson saying the race could still be on for him in your paper today.
Absolutely. What do you think of Master Blue Eyes now? He's got to come into the equation, hasn't he?
Definitely. He travelled strongly, jumped nicely. He'd some plenty decent flat form, so it's one of those horses you have to take very seriously on the big day.
Is he a Cheltenham horse? Because, I mean, they've kept him to very sharp tracks this season. I think before they ran him, they were sort of thinking skip Cheltenham, go to Aintree. I think he may be more of an Aintree horse than
but I think you have to run now, don't you? You have to run in that. And here's an interesting text I got from Paul Keeley after the race. So the last 5 Adonis winners to have scored by more than 5 lengths at Kempton and then run in the Triumph are Snowdrop, Caterino, Soldatino, Well Chief, Punjabi, and their form figures there for a 1-1-1-2-4. So that is a really, really interesting stat, that, isn't it?
I actually know a guy who owns a leg in him.
Really?
And yeah, he's known him all my life. He's the father of a close friend of mine, and I'd love it if he.
He's your
he
best
could,
mate now.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
What a lovely story, though. He's really exciting.
Suffered through 8 children, so he deserves some good news, doesn't he?
Doesn't he ever? What do you make of the Dovecoat then? River Wild, he was quite interesting, wasn't he? You were 4th in that race on Capitaine.
Yeah, we went a nice gallop on Capitaine, who's got obviously a fair level of form. It's one of those we turned into straight. There was 4 or 5 with a solid chance, and I like the way he went throughout the race. He was a little bit keen, so I guess a faster pace again at Cheltenham would suit him well. I think the one thing he probably wouldn't want is it too soft. The way he kind of picked up, he showed a good turn of foot. So it's one of those. I think he is a horse that you'd have to have a look at. I think he'd still be a decent price as well.
Did he do it for you, Stu?
I thought it was an impressive performance. The problem I have with him, I just think he doesn't have enough time between now and Cheltenham to learn everything he needs to learn. He's got a lot of growing up to do. He was very green on the run-in, and the Supreme's a brutal race. He's very tough on them. You need more experience. I think I'd be crossing him off my list because I think he'd just be found wanting, and in a year or two you'd look at him and go, oh yeah, he finished down the field in a Supreme, but he's turned out all right.
Do you know it's funny in the Supreme, because for about 3 months this year nothing happened. There's so few horses emerged, but in the last few weeks it's really changed shape, hasn't it? Have you got a latest show, Paul, on the Supreme?
Yeah, Mellon at 3-1 favourite, Bruce. Moonracer 4-1, 5-1 Ballyandy, 6-1 Bunkoff Early and Defi du Soy. And then River Wild further up at 10-1 from 33 after his win on Saturday.
Should everyone keep the faith in Ballyandy, do you think, Sam?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, obviously, which direction he goes. Traditionally, a champion bumper winner, you'd like to think, especially after winning a race like the Betfair, that the Supreme would be the race. But I've got a feeling that you could see the best of him in a Neptune, where he's obviously going that gear slower, and he might have a little bit too much pace for them. But I guess it's one of those, he'd be entered in both races to the wire, and then you see where you go from there.
Do you think he's a speed horse then, rather than a stayer?
I think the way he's turned out this season, it looks to be, we ran him at Sandown, and he was disappointed. Well, it wasn't disappointing by any means. Obviously, finished second to Mezzo de Zobo, who turned out obviously plenty decent. But maybe, yeah, the way the Betfair worked out, he did show a good turn of foot, and it's one of those. It's pleased to have to be the trainer to make the hard decisions.
But right now, would you think that they're just leaning towards Neptune slightly?
Look, it could go either way. You know, it's one of those. I think there's
a lot of horses like that, isn't there? Neon Wolf and various others.
50,
obviously Finian's, yeah.
Yeah, because like I say, Neon Wolf, the form obviously didn't get done any harm at the weekend. Obviously, Finian's Osco's form is there for all to see. It's been absolutely rock solid. So it's one of those. You're never going to get an easy race at Cheltenham, but it's nice to have both options, and you can go for what you think is the easier one near the occasion.
I've got to say that I'm going to definitely back Neon Wolf, whichever race he runs. I'm very impressed with him. Okay, competition time. Here is your chance to win a free £25 or €25 bet with Paddy Power. All you've got to do is answer this question. And if you were listening earlier, the answer was in there. How many Cheltenham Festival winners has our guest Sam Twiston-Davies ridden? All you've got to do is tweet the answer with the hashtag Postcast to be in with a chance of winning that free bet. The winner will be announced in Friday's show, and will have the free bet credited to their Paddy Power account. So you do need to have a Paddy Power account to take part. But if you do, then good luck. We'll have a quick break and come back with some more Cheltenham chat.
Here's Paddy Power's latest horse racing offer. It's money back as a free bet if your horse finishes second to the SP5 in all races at one meeting today. And at one meeting every day this month. Max £25 per race, not available in shops. 18 plus, gambleaware.co.uk.
Bruce Millington, Sam Twiston-Davies, Stuart Riley and Paddy Power's Paul Binfield are chewing the fat, looking ahead to Cheltenham, only 15 days to go. And as always with the Monday Review Postcast, I ask the guests to name one horse from the weekend that they think the listeners should follow, would be worth putting in the Racing Post horse tracker. Stuart Riley, we'll start with you.
I've already got one straight in my horse tracker. Was Irish Prophecy, Emma Lavelle's bumper winner at Kemerton, beat a McManus horse called Champ. Echoes of Frankel there. Did it very, very well, and I think he looks an exciting prospect.
Okay, Sam, what's your one?
I thought actually Elgin, who was obviously placed behind River Wild, was interesting. If he rocks up to maybe one of the handicaps at the festival, would be potentially very interesting.
Jolly good. Paul Binfield?
Forge Meadow at Nace yesterday, Bruce. That one's 5 from 14s for the Mayor's Novice Hurdle at Cheltenham. An 8-length winner of the Paddy Power race there. And I think better ground and a good gallop at Cheltenham will help her. She looks a bit free and easy, but yes, I think she'll have a good chance at Cheltenham.
Okay, now I guess all leave is cancelled in the Paddy Power compiling team on Wednesday, Paul, because that's when the handicaps are revealed. So you guys are all going to be busy studying up and getting the prices out for that, aren't you?
Yes, indeed. It's all hands on deck. We might even get Brendan Duke back if he's available and not working for you guys. But one that I like already is the look of is Peace & Co in the county hurdle. Worked with Brain Power at Kempton on Saturday. I think he's going to go there something like £10 lower than his highest mark, and Nicky Henderson seemed very happy with him after the gallop at the weekend.
OK, Sam, which horse are you going to be paying special attention to when you see the handicap weights come out?
I think, like say, the handicaps are very, very competitive. A horse I definitely haven't lost any faith in is Cade de Burle. Ran actually a solid enough race in the Sky Bet chase before, obviously, plenty of rain that day, just before the trip and ground just proving a little bit too much. He's a Paddy Power winner. He's back down to a nice mark. The other one is we talked about earlier, Dodging Bullets. I'd say he's a champion chase winner. If he's to line up in a Grand Annual, he'd surely have a chance of finishing the money.
And what will Cade de Burle's target be?
He's going to have 2 entries. He'll be in the 3 mile handicap chase on the Tuesday, and obviously the 2.5 on the Wednesday. Thursday, is it? Yeah, Thursday. Obviously with the view of what the ground might be like nearer the time.
What does he want?
If it's really good ground, you'll see him in the 3 mile. If it was to be a little bit easy, it wouldn't surprise me if you saw him in the 2.5.
So the ground is really more about which race he goes for than whether he's most effective on it.
It's a little bit of a stiffer test to run in the 3 mile, and if the ground was to be slightly slower, it might be a repeat of Doncaster. So in which case he'd line up in the 2.5, I imagine.
Excellent. And which horse, Stu, will you be looking out for when those handicap weights are revealed?
The one I'm most interested in is a horse of Gordon Elliott's called Automated, who won a handicap hurdle at, I think it was Navan, just before Christmas, in mind-blowing style. This thing came from last to first, won just about on the bridle by a length. The 2 pulled 20 lengths clear. The Irish handicapper put it up to 137. I'm hoping Phil Smith does a Phil Smith special with a Gordon Elliott horse and gives it an extra few pounds just to get it into the Coral Cup.
I can't be doing with more handicap row stories. It's so boring, isn't it?
No, I quite like it.
You love it, do you?
Yeah. I want it to get a few more pounds. I won't get in the race if it doesn't.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. We just need a bit more peace, I think, in this world. Okay, guys, 15 days to go. Like I say, the one horse that Stuart, if you and Paul, do you ride a horse, Stu? Could you ride a horse?
Oh God, no! Look at me.
No,
of course not.
Could strap you on a cob or one of the big ones, a Shire horse.
Yeah.
No, but have you ever? What's the fastest you've ever ridden a horse at? I've been pony trekking and they just ambled along, and that was fast enough for me. Honestly, how you lot do it, I have
sat
no
on one
idea.
when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I thought, I've watched plenty of this on the telly. This will be fine. My sisters used to ride. I went out for what they call a hack with them. This thing got out the field and just took off, and I bounced about all over the place. It got to a hedge at the end of the field, stopped abruptly, and I went straight into it.
And that's
then,
it?
I just walked
That's
straight
the end
back
of
to the
your career.
stable. Yeah, didn't even get back on it.
Journalism was always your vocation after that. But if you were a jockey, Stu, which horse would you most be looking forward to riding at the Cheltenham Festival?
You know what I mean, Harry, probably. That's going to hack up, I think.
Fair enough. Paul Binfield, were you ever a jockey?
No, I've sat on a barrel racer in Canada.
What's that?
And it's something that they sprint round barrels in rodeos and things like that. And I went on that at about 2 miles an hour. But no, I haven't been.
But if you were a jockey, who would you like to ride?
Well, I've been a big fan of Masiri des Obo of Alan King's for a long time, even before the Challow hurdle when he won that. 7-1. I think he lost nothing in defeat at Huntingdon behind Keeper Hill, beating a fag paper there, giving £8. Huntingdon wouldn't be his track, and I think he goes to the Neptune with a fine chance.
Jolly good. And Sam, you're only allowed one ride at Cheltenham. That would be pretty bad news, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But if it was, who would it be?
Altior, I thought he's looked very, very good. Love the way he goes around there, and he's looked like a really solid jumper. So Cheltenham shouldn't prove any trouble at all.
Would you back Altior to beat? Oh no, sorry, I better word it more carefully because you're not allowed to bet. But Altior, Nicky Henderson says, right, we're going to go for the champion chase, and he and Willie Mullins both decide they want you to ride their horse. Would you ride Altior or Duvan?
Imagine having that choice, God.
Be nice,
It'd have
wouldn't
an
it?
awful headache. I've been very, very impressed about Altior. I mean, Fox Norton is by no stage a bad horse. He really, in the Shula chase, he tore the race apart and won as he pleased. So then for Altior to beat him like that is a fair effort. I love the horse. I think he's a real worldie.
Excellent stuff. Well, like I say, the excitement mounts. We've only got 15 days to go, and we are back tomorrow for another Cheltenham Anti-Post postcast. We're looking ahead to the RSA and the 4-miler, and also on Friday we're back for our usual weekend postcast. So thank you very much to Paul Binfield, to Stuart Riley, to Sam Twiston-Davis. Great to have you in the studio. Thank you very much for listening.
Paddy Power stream all UK and Irish racing live on your mobile, tablet or PC. Unlike some other high street bookies, Paddy Power, you beauty!